Hello Bomber fans and welcome to the flight deck. It's Captain Hopwood and I'm joined by my co-pilot Cameron Thurley, high performance manager here at the Lauderdale Football Club. Cameron, welcome aboard.
It's great being here, Hoppy. Absolutely excited about the second show that you've put on. So it's glad to be part of it.
Now, we can't help but notice, of course, you've got all the Bomber gear on, and that's something that the footy fan hasn't been used to over the few years. It's normally been Rooland. You've had a very successful career in football so far. You've had a dalliance in the AFL with Geelong, North Melbourne. Of course, one of the senior and very best players for the Devils organisation. What brought you down to Bomberland?
Yeah, certainly from an opposition point of view, I analysed Lauderdale's list.
Yes.
And certainly in the off-season, what I come up with was that there was so much growth down in this zone. And to the forefront of that is obviously the senior team at Lauderdale. And the thing that I was excited about when I came down here was the guys, the players understood that they'd got to a point in their career and they wanted to go to the next step. And I think that they're certainly capable of that, and I want to grow with them.
Fantastic. So obviously since your accident you haven't been able to play and you're turning your attention now to going into that coaching role.
Yeah, it's certainly throughout my playing career I certainly led on the football field.
Mm-hmm.
I captained Clarence and also assistant coach there. So definitely from and it's in the blood. My father obviously coached at senior level in his day, and the development and the improvement that my advice that I give the players, and I see that, is really, really rewarding. And I'm passing on all my knowledge and everything in terms of what I've been taught, and the guys are really taking that on and growing.
Now, mate, season 2015, we had a good win last week against Hobart City. We were heading north. It was a big game because Launceston was celebrating 140 years, which is fantastic, and congratulations to Launceston Football Club. I always sort of a sense, you hear sometimes that players can't get up for their special occasion, but there was a big vibe up there. I went up there for the pre-game President's Luncheon, and they were up and about, and I thought that was going to be a sense it was a danger game, and the proof is in the pudding now, Cameron. It was a very, very hard-fought game, and they really took it up to us all game.
Yeah, they're a player football club. They've got a lot of history, 140 years as a senior club. The boys are going to come out and play.
Yeah, they certainly were. I mean, in the first quarter, they got up to a decent lead at 21-10, but Cameron, it was in the second quarter that we really showed some dominance, and I think we kicked away with 8 goals. What would have been said at quarter time?
Yeah, well, what was said at quarter time was obviously...
Not word for word, we can't bleep that out, but just give us a précis of what happened there at quarter time.
Yeah, well, certainly our start wasn't what's expected of us, and we had to regenerate the guys and talk them through the fact that we weren't happy with the way we started, and the fact that we've got the second quarter and we need to respond, and we did.
They just didn't give it away, did they, Launceston? They were just like that little dog nipping away at your heels, and we just couldn't shake it. Did you get a sense maybe at quarter time, did the boys sort of think that they'd done enough maybe at half time? Did you get that sense, or am I just reading something into it that wasn't there?
No, I think that's a fair comment to think that I think Launceston's previous results may have caused that. The week before they got beaten quite convincingly by North Launceston, and young guys, young team have those thoughts that they may just a term that I don't like using, but to roll over. Yes. But understanding that they've got a 140-year anniversary history, I think there was about 3 players that were playing milestone games. The 22 that you're playing against aren't going to roll over.
So the position that they're in, do you see them as a better position than they are actually in? Do you see them as a better team?
Yeah.
They got a few back as well, didn't they? I mean, Savage at the back, he's a big, strong sort of a rooster, and he certainly strengthened them up. And it was amazing to think, even at the death, I mean, Launceston got those goals right towards the end, and we're actually watching vision here of the last quarter. It must have been very tense in the box. I thought the game was totally and utterly gone. You must have been pleased to think we found something to get those last flurry of goals.
Yeah, and certainly the message at three-quarter time was that the fact that we're playing for a top three position, and that's what we came up here to do in terms of to get the 4 points, get back on the bus and head back home. So the guys certainly knew at three-quarter time that there wasn't there was nothing to play for. And obviously Launceston had something to play for as well, and they got the points in the end, which was good luck to them.
Yeah, it was good luck to them, but the 4 points, as we know from when we looked at the league last year, it was so close, wasn't it? And just even dropping percentage can be a great challenge. There was a really good, healthy crowd there. It was fantastic to see the celebrations going very, very well. Do you perceive that there'll be any knee-jerk reaction from in the coaching fraternity on how we will go forward next week when we take on Clarence, given that loss?
I think the reaction after the game is a positive in terms of it hurt. It hurt our boys. So certainly I think coming up against Clarence is no better team to rebound on, because we know that they're going to bring something, and I guarantee that we're going to bring something and have... the group would have learnt of the good and the bad, and now we've got the best part about football. There's always next week.
There is always next week, and of course it is going to be a huge week at the Lauderdale Oval when the Eastern Shore Cup comes up with Clarence, who have been very much out of form. They put a lot of young players in, and I hear that they did very well. They just ran and took the game on. So they'll be coming down here with a bit of confidence, given that we didn't go so well. But as we're watching some of these highlights here, it's coming right down to the death of the game. We even had an opportunity to win it, what was the last kick of the day. How were you feeling up in the coach's box when young Robbie McManus went back to take that shot?
Look, to be honest, if we look at the list that were playing on that day, we were pretty happy that the ball was in Robbie's hands. He had just kicked a goal just before that in a similar position, and in terms of my football life, I back our team in, I back our boys in, and the reaction from him after the game was a really a fantastic one in terms of he knew that he'd let the players down. But in the concept of the game, he wasn't the only one that it was a team game, and you need your 22 contributors. And for the majority of the game, he was one of our better players. And it was just that one moment that he didn't take his chance. But I guarantee you, he will kick his next goal, and that's all we care about.
Yeah, he shouldn't take that to heart, because we actually probably missed a number of shots. It's just, I guess, the last one that highlights. But I guess if we run through some of our better players, Cam, Matty Smith was really good down back. We mentioned Robbie had a cracker of a game. Alex Hill, Zach Plant. Is anyone else you'd like to highlight as far as you saw in our best players?
In terms of, I thought Jimmy Dunham started really well. In the first quarter, especially when majority of the ball was in Launceston's forward half. So he really competed well, and certainly the guys that you've mentioned, Smithy, he's a veteran, but he's a leader.
He is a leader, and he stood up, didn't he?
Yeah, and he's a cool head, and that's what we need, sort of down back, and he's surrounded by the guys that are in their early 20s. So you certainly do, and Robbie was fantastic all day. Absolutely.
And as we look at the vision, here is that said moment. You can see the distraught Brennan Savage. He can't believe that he's given this free kick away. And everyone all of a sudden thought the game was totally, utterly gone for us, as the ball is going to be come back to Robbie. There's a little bit of confusion there. And this must be very painful for Robbie to watch, but please, Rob, we're not highlighting this for you, son. It's just one of those things, and like you said, he'll learn from this experience. So he's going to go back, and we must have thought there's not a lot of time left. So he looks very calm over the ball as he's coming in. He's got his head down. Everything's going well, Cam, as far as this is concerned. He's kicked it, and it's just gone off to the right, as we can see. And then I think it's almost dawned that would probably be the end of the game, as the siren has gone and the Launceston faithful came away with a victory. And you can see the elation. It's been a tough season for them so far, and they've got away with one and a very, very good, hard-fought victory for the Launceston Football Club. So congratulations to them. I guess it probably would have been an injustice as far as they thought if they would have lost that match, Cam.
Yeah, it's certainly from that point of view, definitely, and it's something that we will certainly learn massively. And something that I was really proud of the group was the players got around Robbie.
Yes.
At the end, and that's such a strong thing, a strong bond that you can take forward into other games, because there's going to be moments later in the season that we need that group together, that bonding together, and this, I guarantee, next time we'll be the victors. Yeah,
so as I've already said, I've been through the best players, and the goal kickers, Boscott got 3, Heavey got a couple, Cassidy again was up and about and gave a focal point with 2 goals, Ash Woodhead got a couple of goals, Siggins, Holton, Sutton, Dodge, Bell Chambers and McManus with singles. So there it was Launceston 15-11, 101, defeating a fast finishing Lauderdale 15-9, 99. So that's it for the seniors, Cam. But of course, a big part of the Lauderdale Football Club is our juniors. We have about 300 kiddies running around each weekend, and we were lucky enough to go to Blunston Arena the other night, you and I, Cam, and we saw a terrific game between the under-12 game, which was the Lauderdale under-12s versus Clarence under-12s. So what we'll do, we'll take a break now and come back with all the highlights from that big match.
See the Bombers fly up to win the premiership flag.
It is a tsunami of red and white that is just pushing that ball out, but they can't get any clean possession now. As you can see, trying to slam it on the boot was Heard yet again, but it is Lauderdale. Oh, a little bit of a surprise there. It came back to Nettie Shaw. It's no surprise for this young fella. He picks it up, kicks long towards the vacant goal. I think that's going to bounce through, Duff, as the umpire has signalled that's all clear. And Ned Shaw, he's really trying to assert some pressure on that Lauderdale boys as Paitner was intercepted. That it's Lauderdale now who break free as Monks picks it up. Monks pulling the ball forward down to one of his man leading was Richardson. He just decides he can't pick it up, so he pushes forward.
Look at this.
Great smother by Tilly. Tilly gets the handball over the top to Mab. Mab's been tackled and he's been deemed to be a little bit too high, and Mab will take the kick, Duff.
Oh, he's going to be a match winner, Mab. Look at that. Great play.
Oh, and a mark there by Arnold. Look at him quickly getting off the mark, Duff. He knows he's right on his limit, so he needs to get the ball down there. He drives it back into the square. Coming out, taking a mark. I think he has. He's been rewarded, Duff. Brilliant. That big fly goes up. And Sammy Tilly has taken the mark, and Tilly has put it through for a sausage, and she's all square. It's going to be a ball up. Oh dear, Duff, this has really turned up another octave now.
Oh, it's come up a few notches for sure, Hoppy. 10.5 minutes to go, 4.5 to go. And, gee, you just want to get a score, don't you, at the moment?
Oh, no doubt about that. It's well done as Lauderdale kicked that ball going close to the line. It's not quite over, screwed over the shoulder. That has been a miraculous goal. What a cracker. What a fantastic game, and there are some stars of the future. And Cam, you must be licking your lips to get hold of some of those young blokes in the academy that you're running.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting program that we've got running with the academy, and the sort of drills that we're doing are really decision-making drills, and putting the kids under some pressure that they may not have currently been sort of involved with, and just the development from the start to where it's got to now, and I just can't wait to see these guys start to mature in terms of getting the body size, their strength and things like that. But certainly from a skill development point of view, it's going great.
Fantastic. Well, there it is. That's the wrap-up at the end of the day. Now, just a couple of things to mention. Don't forget, this week, make sure no matter what you do, get down here to Lauderdale for the Eastern Shore Cup, Cam. It is going to be a cracker of a game. The arch rivals, Clarence versus the Bombers. And after that, you'll have a couple of quiet refreshments. And then that night, we have got the quiz night. I know you'll be there. You'll be there with your table, all the grey matter, just going over all of that. So mark that one off in the calendar. It is Clarence Lauderdale, Saturday the 30th at the Lauderdale Oval. Well, that's it from us. We hope you've enjoyed the show far. Thanks very much, Cameron, for joining us. We'll see you next time on Bomber Talk.
Okay, the Bombers.
See the Bombers fly up.